And greetings, fellow Nephilim, and today I'm bringing you a all-inclusive guide to powering up your character in Diablo 3 Season 28. This might be a little bit of a long one, but I'm going to show you all the tricks that us old veterans use to get a lot of Paragon and aug out our characters. And afterwards, you shall be able to at least clear a 120, if not higher, depending on your build. So let's get into it. First thing I want to stress to everyone is you're going to need lots and lots of gems to augment your gear, because it takes 3 flawless royal gems of your core stat to go and augment your character. Uh, Wizard and Witch Doctor use topazes. Barbarian and Crusader use rubies. And Monk and Demon Hunter use emeralds. Oh, and I forgot one more. Necromancer uses topazes, so those are the gems you're going to want to farm up. And to do that, I highly suggest you give your follower a broken crown. It makes it where whenever a gem drops of the socketed type, another one will drop. So it essentially gives you double gems on regular gems, not legendary gems. It will not double your legendary gem drops. I had to make that clear. So you always want to make sure your follower has this. So anytime you run a puzzle ring, a rift, or a greater rift, which those are going to be your main 3 ways of getting gems and also gaining paragon points, that you will get them. And then the next thing after you do that, you want to start working on getting all your gear ancient, if not primal. All my gear is ancient, except for I haven't been able to get my bracers ancient yet, but we're working on it. But you have to have all your gear ancient to do that, and then you need augments. Most people suggest you don't want to use an augment that's below 100. I shoot for 125, and thanks to a newer mechanic that got added in the game, we can easily get 125s. Thanks to our petrified screams that open up your echoing nightmares. You don't want to run your echoing nightmare keys until you can at least clear a 70 or higher. It will not be worth it because these things only have a 4% drop rate. I spent the last 3 days farming just for one. They are really hard to get, and they only drop from greater rifts, so keep that in mind. So now, then the next pillar of power you want to focus on is your altar. Let's go over to the altar real quick and show you what I mean. What I really suggest is going down this line. Do not do what I did. I did mine mostly for farming basis, but if you're looking just for pure power, I would go down this side right here and grab the Father Potion, because it gives you a dimensional power pylon effect. And if you have other lovely abilities on your follower, such as Flavor of Time, it will make your pylon effects last twice as long. So that is just wonderful. Keep that in mind. And now we're going to show you how to get your powerful augments. We are going to go run I'm going to sacrifice my Echoing Nightmare key for you all today, so you can see how it's done. So you pop this in the cube. Your whole goal is to survive as long as you can until you get overwhelmed or die. But keep in mind, the highest level gem that will drop is a 125. So you want to make it to around 130 to guarantee that you'll get a 125 augment gem. So we go, boom, let's hop in here. and we hop in the portal. Now there is somewhat of a strategy here. You have these shrines. You don't want to pop them early on. I tend to only pop certain ones at certain times, so that way you can stay alive a bit longer. So we just go, and the great thing about these is they also occur that masker bonus that got doubled thanks to the altar. You see I'm at 19, 22. I will suggest that when you run these, you want a bit of a build with a lot of mobility, for the sheer fact of it will help you stay alive and get away from all the explosions. Just hit 40. These keys usually don't take too long to run, and it's also a good source of legendaries in Paragon. I think I average at least 3 to 5 Paragon points, depending on how high you are on Paragon and how high you can get your masker bonus. We just hit 60. Things are getting a little bit hairy, so I'm going to go grab this speed pylon, so that way I can get away from everything. About to hit 70. There's the 70. And 80. We're just going to grab that power pylon so we can deal a bit more damage. Around 100, we're going to go grab the channeling one so we can use our mobility skill more often. Okay, we're at 100, so we're going to grab our channeling. We only need 30 more tiers, and then we will have a 125. Ooh, that was bad. That was rough. I stood in that and I shouldn't have. So we're just going to grab the conduit last. This way we can get the last of our progress we need. There's 110. Come on, go down. Oh, Riker. Ha ha ha, I killed Riker. Lol. Whew. Keep on taking too many risks. Give me them gems. We only need a little bit more. Yes, I know you need healing. I like to try to make it up to like 130 to guarantee that I get the 125 Aug Gem. Then once we're done here, we will... Okay, we got 132, and here's our gear drop as far as I only got 1 point. Of course, on Paragon 1,000, so anyone who's under 1,000, you'll get a lot more. Plus, you get a whole bunch of legendaries, and they're all crap. They're not going to help me, as always, because when you get into late game, there's only like a 1% chance that any item will be good for you. But we're not even going to bother identifying all that. But now we have our 125 gem. So we go over to our cube, and it is your very last recipe. So let's see. That's already got it. This one has no augments on it, so we pop it in the cube. We pop our gems for your core for the stat you want in your gem. And bow. We have 625 extra int on our character. Almost takes us up to 1500 intelligence. And a cool rule of thumb is every time you apply 125 augment to your build, you should be able to push 2 to 3 levels higher than your previous max. Is how most of us do it, especially if you're playing hardcore. You got to be a little more conservative about it. And oh yeah. Now, Paragon farming. You're going to want to farm a lot of Paragon, and how I suggest you do this is you only run regular rifts when you need gems or keys for your runs. But if you want to save yourself a lot of time, I would give your follower the Kane's Destiny set, because Kane's Destiny will, with a Ring of Royal Grandeur or all 3 pieces, will make it where essentially you get an extra key from every rift you farm. And then after you have a good amount of keys, you want to run low tier greater rifts around. Okay, for instance, if you can clear a 90, you want to run 85, because speed is the game. Because with speed you get more drops per hour and more Paragon per hour. I know it was a hard bad habit for me to break too, but you just got to get it in your mind. Town is lava. The less time you spend in town, the more XP per hour and more drops you will get. So what I'm doing right now is really bad, but I have to record this video. And then finally, before we end, I suggest that when you spin your blood shards, after you get most of your gear locked down and you have, your set's all filled out, you got some ancients, you're looking good, I would suggest you take your blood shards and spin them on rings, for the simple fact of you can get a puzzle ring. I didn't get one that time, but there is also another trick to be aware of. If you, I forget who did a video on it. There's a video on it up on YouTube somewhere. But you get lower level classes only have a certain pool of legendaries that can drop for them. So you get a level 30, another class up to level 31 in season, which isn't very hard to do after you've powered up one character. And then you use that character just to roll rings. I haven't done this yet because I hate making extra characters in the season, just because I'm focused on powering up one and grinding with one. But you can do this trick to up your chances to get puzzle rings. And with that being said, these are my tricks I use to gain power and Paragon points in this season. I hope you all enjoyed, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, because I know a lot of you are not subscribed. And have an awesome day, and may also the loot gods praise you with all the epic drops. Goodbye.